Hello, beautiful people. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Welcome to Soul Guidance with Deepthi. And this is a space collectively for us to stay aligned to the spirit week on week, trying to align with the wisdom of the archetypes and see how we can lead a more aligned and a more virtuous life. We use the movement of the moon as a marker to help us carve out some dedicated space so that we can create a very intentional world. The principle of mentality that everything is the mind and what we really think is what we manifest in our physical realities. So, working with that each week, we try and understand what is it that's coming up for us collectively and how we can make the most of it to be able to polish the mirror of our mind so that we live a life of more conscious alignment, being more aware, being more intentional of everything that is part of our daily routine. So I encourage you to go ahead and share this video with your family or friends if you think and know of someone who could really benefit from this particular guidance. This is a collective channeling. That means we are opening a vortex. I am opening this vortex from Pune. You can also comment and let us know where you're holding space and co-creating your reality, aligning to the guidance that spirit is showing us at this point in time. The wisdom of the archetypes, it is all in one and one is all. So, whatever's part of our mind is actually represented through these cards, and these are the building blocks of our psyches. The more we are connected and aligned, the more intentional we will be able to go through our week. So let us try and see what is coming up, what's the challenge for the week, and how we can go through it in an optimal manner. I invite you to come to a place of center and grounding. If you can choose to go through this channeling, feeling a little soft, a little relaxed. Because if you're going to come from a place of rigidity, it's going to be extremely challenging for you to create space for the new. The new moon last week was all about bringing in newer energies. And now that those energies have started anchoring, it is going to be upon us how to make the most of these beautiful first quarter energies. So, to be able to do that, let us choose to come to a place of centering within the present moment awareness, within our heart centers, and ask Spirit to show us how we can go through this week with a lot of joy and alignment. So, the challenge for the week that we see. And what is likely to help and support us. So, Spirit is showing us that this week is an opportunity for us to master our own mind. The cards that we had last week showing us that we've reaped certain benefits, we've come to a place of victory given the work that we've been doing ourselves. So, this time we see that this week is exemplary for new starts, and new starts in the sense of mental cycles. So the patterns that we had been working with, which were stuck for a very long time, have finally been broken. And this particular week allows us to bring forward some new thoughts, some new energies. So if you have to use those newer energies, you have to be extremely mindful. You can use your thoughts to actually create further conflict in your life, or you can use those thoughts to actually cut through the chaos and the confusion and the dilemma that is there around you or that is part of your life. So, this week is going to be very decisive in the fact of how do you want to use the power of your mind. It is like a double edged sword. You can use the sword to cut away the weeds and tend to your garden so that you are able to enjoy the fruits of something that you intentionally want to bring and create in your space. However, if you're going to let your mind stay unattended, you will allow your thoughts to run uh, and create havoc. You are going to reap those benefits. You are only going to create more challenges for yourself. So, what Spirit is really showing us that although this is a week of mental challenges, but the gift in the week is that it is giving us a chance to use the apparatus of our mind to our own benefit. And how do you use it to our own benefit? By choosing to operate from a place of complete non judgment, of a place of compassion and unconditional love, not just for yourself, but for everybody else as well. So, whatever thoughts that you are creating, if you can very intentionally bring it from a point of that may this be a blessing not just for me but for everybody else, you have automatically created space to lead a very aligned life. So the week will automatically start flowing and bringing forward things which are for your highest and best. And by living an aligned life, you are going to bring that resonance to all those related to in your life, then be it at your workplace, be it in your community, be it with your friends, family, or children for that matter. So, this particular week is quite a blessing, and what we are going to do now is, in a sense, going to be very impactful for the next 3 months or so. The energy is going to be very anchoring because we are at the beginning of one new aspect in our psyche, and this aspect primarily has to do a lot with our own stories, our mental narratives. So, when something happens, how do you attach or detach yourself to that particular situation, to that person, or to that narrative that you have going on at the back of your mind altogether? So, this is a time to redefine that mental chatter, to see how can you turn around your relationship with your thoughts and rather become a very empowered mind manager to be able to go through things intentionally, creating moment to moment whatever it is that you choose to be part of your life hereafter. And what is really going to support us in this week is going to be our childlike enthusiasm. If you've been feeling this for the past week and a half, that a lot of things from your past are really coming up, you are getting a little nostalgic, or maybe you've started picking up interests which were part of your growing years, something that you did while you were back in school or in your college years, and for many years, like for a good 12 to 15, 20 odd years, you've really never been able to make time and connect to that aspect of yourself, or you'd simply outgrown that bit about your personality, and you never felt the need or the drive to really soak into those kind of things any longer. But this recent shift in energies is bringing up a lot of all of those things of the past, because it's sort of merging the timelines. And why is that merging really happening? Because it is allowing you to now keep coming back to your core, keep coming back to what your real true nature is after having shed off all the layers of some acquired identities that we had been living in. So, when the nostalgia comes up, can you have a very compassionate inquiry and try and understand that given the newer version of me, who I am at this present point in time, where does this old aspect sit with me? Does picking up and creating time to reconnect with that particular aspect, with that situation, with that creativity, with that inspiration, that habit, or with that person, does align with the sort of life that I want to enjoy at the present moment and that I am creating for my future as well. These are some sort of questions that you can really ask. And once you have that clarity, you will be able to go through it with such ease, with such grace, and you will come around rediscovering yourself in that entire journey. You will be merging the old with the current energies and actually rebirthing or creating something absolutely new for yourself. And if you're going to be a little more mindful, Spirit is showing us that these bits are going to really help you shine your light. It is a very predominant energy. I'm being shown that these are the sort of things that you've always perhaps wanted to do or were gifted and talented at doing, but somewhere along the line it wasn't possible to keep pouring into those sort of patterns, and that is why they got left behind. But right now you are at that stage in your life where you are beginning to come in your own complete empowerment and shine your light. And in order to be that sun in your life right now, it's going to be important that you come from a very solid foundation. And possibly those things which are coming up were part of your life for a reason. And now, if you can look at those things with renewed lenses, with the lens of objectivity, and really try and see how can I build myself on the basis of these blocks of the past inspiration, you will be really able to make the most of the coming week. And this also is being shown that this particular time is extremely potent to stay connected with your spirit, your spiritual purpose in life. Who are you? What do you have to do in this particular lifetime? This is your chance to be able to reconnect with those aspects and go through life very, very consciously. The purpose of your spirit is to do the work that your soul chose onto itself to do before coming into this incarnation. So, whatever that is, this particular week is allowing your opportunity to align to that aspect of your spirit. And when you're going to hold on to that purpose, if you're really going to follow that calling, you are really going to emerge victorious. Success is really going to be yours. And hereafter, after this transitionary phase, you will then go on to really achieving all the abundance of the world, because the card that comes after this shows us that we would have gone a complete cycle and come to a place of being absolutely content, being absolutely joyous. And this particular week is extremely momentous for us to be able to do and achieve that. Thus, I invite you to sit with this guidance, see, understand what is coming up for you, how you can really use this time to cultivate the garden of your mind in a manner that aligns to your own spiritual purpose, the true calling in your life, and whatever you feel identified with, whatever you feel intuitively coming up for you, the childlike passion in you comes alive thinking about those aspects about your being. That is the answer to all your prayers. That is a spark which is going to light the way for you. If you've been going through a cocoon stage where things were extremely chaotic, you couldn't really make sense of many things, we are being shown that darkness is now beginning to convert into light, and that light is going to come from within. And that spark, when you start following that spark, is going to light a fire which is going to be so potent that you can really then start channeling and using that heart energy, that fire energy through the portal of your heart to create a very nurturing life for you and for people around you. I hope you enjoyed bringing in the energies. I invite you to please share the video in your network, reach out to people and let them know that this is something that they can really work with if you happen to have a conversation. And these are certain recurring themes that you see coming up for them in their life too. And as always, if you feel inclined towards getting a personal reading done for yourself, getting some more personal clarity, trying and see where it is that you are in your soul journey and how you can polish yourself further and become the most uh, polished version of who you were always meant to be, please reach out to me and I'd be happy to share details to book a 101 session and take it forward with you. Thank you for choosing to surrender yourself to the spirit and the guidance that really came through in the session. I invite you to hold this guidance in your heart and may it really help you go through the week in a manner that is for the highest and best. Let's choose to go through this week with a lot of unconditional light, love, and passion. Namaste.